All right, good afternoon. Welcome back to another session on Introduction to Digital Art. So last week we started Adobe Illustrator. So we went through the components. We looked at how the interface look like, what are the buttons, what are the panels, all that, right? So with that, let me also show you the LMS on that. Okay, so under the LMS, you have the elements of design, principles of design videos here. This lesson videos are the ones that we recorded in the class. Then we have 4 lessons on Photoshop, introduction, non-destructive editing, various things. Now this lesson 3 and 4 are actually directly connected to your activity 1, 2, 3. Now this is your assignment. Greeting card is here, right? Making a postcard, that one, right? Then the next one is stone texture. So that is here in the lesson 3. Then we have corrected family photo, which is again here, fixing a group photo. So lesson 3 and 4 are directly connected to your activity 1, 2, 3. Now 4, 5, 6 are to do with Illustrator. Okay. Now these lesson files, by the way, are also available here. So if you go to lesson files, Photoshop, you will see all these files here. Okay. If you go to Illustrator lessons, which is here, you will see the stuff we are going to do today. All right. So we're going to look at this one, the first lesson, which is vector fish. Right. So the lesson is available in your drive. So please go through these steps. It says, how to start, which tool to use. By the way, we are using the pen, vector pen we call it, because we are drawing vectors using freehand. And then we are having textures and various things of that nature. Okay. Right. Now let's get down to Illustrator first. So let me start Illustrator. By the way, I hope all of you can have a look at the LMS and make sure the videos are okay and they're working, right? Sukit, were you able to log into LMS and are the videos working for you?
Yes, sir, they're working fast.
Can see, right? Okay. Right. Can you see my Illustrator screen? Sukrit, Nushama, Rajindu, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So previously we looked at this tool, right? How to create things out of the predefined tool set here, right? Now, I want to show you one more thing before we move on to the Illustrator pen, that is on colors. Although we briefly discussed this, Photoshop has foreground and background colors, whereas Illustrator has fill color and the stroke color or the outline color, right? Now, this is the selection tool. So you can click here to select it. And if you look at these two boxes up here, the first box is for fill color. So if you want to fill it with red, you select that. If you want to outline with another color, right now I have selected black, so I'm going to leave it there. So now you can see both colors are applied. Also, if you want to change the outline thickness, you can do it from here. Okay. So it's called a stroke. If you want to change the outline color, you are free to do that. Okay. So these are the two colors. Here it shows the selected colors. Now there's a little arrow here also, right? Now see what happens when I click that arrow. Did you notice? It is switching between the colors. It is switching the fill color with the stroke color when I click this arrow. Okay. So that is our first lesson. Lesson number 2. What if I want to have a gradient, meaning start from one color and end with another color, right? So let me have another box for that. Okay, so this is a solid color. So what I'm going to do is to have a gradient. Couple of things I need to do. First, I need to go and select, or rather click on this second button here. Now there are 3 buttons here. The one in the middle says gradient. So I'm going to click that. Okay, when I click it, I immediately get white to black gradient, right? And I also get this gradient window popping up here. Now, couple of things again. Now here, these are the gradient styles. This is called a linear gradient. If you try the second one, that's called a radial gradient. And the third one is called freeform gradient. Now, you can also have a freeform. So I'm going to keep it here at the linear gradient. Oops, what happened here? Right. So did you notice there is a line now with control points? There is one on the left, one on the right, and one in the middle also. Okay. And there's another interesting one, which is the angle. Right now it says 0. I can also have different angle. Let's try 90. Right. 90 means going top to bottom or bottom to top. If I try 45, that's a angular thing. I can also go negative. Let's say negative 90. Now, black down, white up versus positive 90 is the opposite of that. Now here, black down. See, black up, white down. Right? Now, you can also play with this middle button. Now, let's see what happens when I change the middle thing. So, that basically shifts the midpoint of the gradient. And I hear too much black, little white versus too much white, little black. So I can keep it in the middle also. Now, if you notice, this is also changing. I can either do it from there or here. If you want precise positioning, you can even type that here. Let's say, for example, I need 50%, which is in the middle. I can type it there. So it's right in the middle. Or I can type 25% gradient there. Or I can type 75% gradient. There you go. Okay. So I can have very precise gradient colors. So the next question is, okay, I don't like this gradient color. How can I change that? Well, no problem. That's where you have this here, the color, right? So actually, I have to select 2 colors. So what I'll do here is I can go to the black dot and double click there, right? When I do that, I get this color swap. Say, for example, I want red on the top. Okay, here I selected red. And then I want another color for my bottom color. So let's say yellow. There you go. And similarly, I can change the outline. Let's say I don't want 10, I want 5. I also want it to be black. There I have my gradient. Okay, very precise gradient with an outline. So that's how you change color. In fact, you can also change color by clicking the dots here. All right. Now, okay, that's one box. So let's draw another one. Okay, I get the same preset settings. Now, I have two color gradients, isn't it? What if I want another color in between? If you notice my mouse pointer, there is a little plus sign there, right? So let's click somewhere here. Oh, now I got two colors, actually three colors, and then two midpointers. So let's change the middle color into something different. Let's say blue or something, maybe light blue or something. Oh, now I get a completely different gradient, isn't it? I get three colors now. Red on one side, yellow on the other side, and light blue in the middle. And I can, in fact, just like before, change the midpointer of these colors individually. I can take the blue to the left or blue to the right, right? Actually, no, I didn't select it, okay? Like this. Now more blue, more red, or in the middle. And then I can also play with the center point again, like before, right? So you can do some very precision gradients. Also, it can be to your shapes like this, or even for text that you're typing. Say, for example, I type some text. Right, so that's the text tool. Let's say SLTC. This is a very thin font, so I like to have a thick one. So let's see whether I can find a thick font here. My Real Pro. Let's look for a thick font. Okay, so this looks like a thick one. Right. Let's make it larger. And I can click this and immediately get the gradient as well. So let's apply the gradient here. I need to convert that object to something called outline, right? And then apply the gradient. There you go. I need to have a little outline as well. So let me have black outline. Okay, there you go. So this gradient can be either for your objects or your text. Now again, just like I did, I could change it to various things. So you can get some amazing combinations, right? Like that. Okay. Whatever the combination. Right. So that's my first lesson today, how to apply gradients. You can also change gradients. Now, by the way, remember this was a linear gradient, right? So if I play with this line, by the way, this little black dot here, I can go up and down here and play the gradients. Now I can also have a free form gradient. And then when I select the third one, by the way, I can actually play with these pointers and individually control my gradient positions. See, very advanced. Right? I can have very advanced, very complex gradients also. Now, the beauty of this is that this is in vector format. See, there is no pixelation. Did you notice? No pixelation at all. That's the beauty of the Illustrator tool. They are all in fantastic clarity. It does not lose any quality at all. So if I go and zoom here, you see, no pixelation. No, you don't see pixels here. You see, no pixels. Right? That's the beauty of this. And if I do that in Photoshop, I would have got into lots of dots. Okay, so let's get down to the business. So I need to now use the freehand pencil. Okay, actually this one. So here you can see pen tool, add anchor point, delete anchor point, and anchor point tool. So I'm going to use the first one, the default pen tool. So with this, you can draw anything. Oops. Yeah, see, you can draw anything you want. And you need to have a steady hand. I'm using a mouse, not the pad. And again, see, I can zoom in and zoom in and zoom in. It's very good quality, high quality, right? And now, since I finished this line, I can fill this also. I can have a fill color. Let's see whether it works. Yeah, I can fill it. There. I can have fill colors. In fact, I can even have gradient also here. So it doesn't matter whether you have shape as a drawn freehand shape or whatever. All those activities you did previously is still working here, right? So I'm going to draw my outline of the fish. So the fish looked like, where was the fish? Right, so the fish looked like something like this. Okay, I need to make sure that this is actually a fillable object. Now, right now, you see it's touching each other, but it might not be fillable. So let me see. Can I fill it? Yes, I can. So it is fillable. All right. Now, this is not how the fish look like. It has some gradients in it, right? So sort of a dark blue to grayish, something like that. So I need to start with the gradient. It's 0 because it goes from this side to this side. So this is some dark blue color. And let's try this one. It's too much. Okay. And somewhere here is very light blue. So maybe cyan or something. In between, there is another color. So let me add another color in between. Okay. In fact, I can move this color anywhere I like. Right. Something like this. Maybe a little bit of purple. Right. So I'm just drawn the shape. And then can start with the fins. Remember, this is going to be a different object. So I have to draw it separately. Don't worry about it's coming over it. No problem. Right. Now I need to make sure the fish is above the fin or the fin is below the fish. So first of all, I need to fill it up with some color. Let me add a just basic color just to get an idea. Okay. Right. Now you see these two are on top of the fish. Now what you can do is you can use the Photoshop trick of using layers. You see, these are all layers. There, 1, 2, right? So this is my fish down here. So if you move the fish above all that, it goes automatically down. Or there's another way. The other way is select the object and go to right click and say arrange, send to back. There, that is also possible. Either way. So I'm going to do send to back here also. Arrange, send to back. Okay, right. Now I need some more gradients here. Oh, there's also another thing somewhere here. This also should go to right. Not really. That actually should be up here. Okay, I don't want an outline for that, but I need a gradient, right? And this is not the angle I want. I need a 90-degree angle, and I need different colors. No problem. I can have different colors. So I need a sort of a bluish colors here. Actually, no, greenish colors. Dark green down. Maybe a middle green here and a lighter green on the top, something like this. And here I need this also should be gradient, and in that case I need a pinkish. That should be 0 as well. Okay, something like this. All right, that looks better. Let me try this guy as well and apply maybe a similar gradient. Okay, all looking good. Now I need a couple of other things. The dots on the body, the eye, right? That's what I need. So for that, in my fish, I can draw circles, right? So I go to my preset circles here, ellipse tool, and I can start drawing a circle here with the eye. Now there, I don't want a gradient. I need a white color with a thicker black color thing here. That's too thick. Right, that looks like a good one. And then the body, according to what I have done, requires a yellow color dot. So let me draw one. No outline in that. So I'm going to turn off the outline, filled with yellow. Okay. So I can now, in fact, after drawing, I could also copy it like this by holding the ALT key on my keyboard. I can drag it to multiple places. Right. So far, so good. Few more things I need to do because these are very flat. I need some, lines to make it look like they're natural. So I'll start with this guy. So since it is green, I would like to have a darker green color for that. So actually, I need a fill color, a darker green. So you see, I can select from different color objects, color palettes. So I go back to the pen. Actually, I need a thicker. Now this is a 1 pixel, so that's too thick. So I'm gonna have maybe half of that, right? Oh, okay, something like that, right? Maybe another color for the rest of it, a dark pink or something. Right? And maybe some blue for the other guy. Okay. Maybe I could also have a few lines in the body with maybe a semi-transparent line. So I'm going to change the opacity to about 50% and see whether I can draw that. Yeah, something like this, you see, with a 50% opacity, almost 50%. Right, I can erase unwanted things. There I have it, my fish, right? So you can have a background, you can have some plants, you can have, have a smaller version of this. Anything is possible. For example, I could select this whole fish here and make a duplicate of that, like Alt and drag. Okay, what happened now? Right, I'll put the big fellow here and take a copy of that and put the copy somewhere here. And I can also make it scalable. Remember, we are dealing with vector objects, which means you can resize it without any loss of quality. So you see, all these are sharp lines, no pixelation at all. Okay, so you can have multiple of this. There. You can have leaves if you want. Remember, we also played with this beautiful brushes available, the different kinds of brushes we had. So if you look at the brush tool here, where is the brush tool? Brushes, okay, here, right? Now this brush, charcoal brush, right? Now that's a beautiful brush. There, you can have leaves with that. So you can have different colors. You can be creative. You can do whatever you wish with these things. Now I can send this this green color one behind the fish. How? Go here, select it, then do right click, arrange, send to back. There. The leaf is behind the fish. There you go. Right. So you can be very creative with all these tools. So I didn't use so many tools, right? I use brush tool only to draw all these things. And I use a circle tool to get the circles. And the other technique I used was the gradation tool. So I use gradients to apply these beautiful combinations of colors, right? And also I use the opacity to give sort of a, now here it's 47%. You can reduce it further so that they're very light, you see, very light. Let me zoom in. So this is very light now, semi-transparent. That's the opacity. So this is 47%. This is 14%, right? That's the difference between the semi-transparency. So you can apply whatever transparency is fit for you. Okay, so this is our second activity. So if you look at our document again, this is the document. It doesn't look exactly like this, but I guess you get the picture, right? So it has all the steps to do. Select the pencil tool, then draw the shape, color it with gradients. See, click this one in the middle. Play with these colors, right? And then start drawing the other pieces. And here you have it. Just 10 steps. Okay. So the one I drew doesn't look like exactly one on one, but since you will go through this tutorial, I hope you will get a much better fish than what I did today. Okay. So that's our lesson for today. So we learn brushes, we learn opacity, we learn gradients today, and then how to do something with the tools we learned so far today and last week. All right. So any questions? This is, by the way, your fourth activity, vector fish, right? So just like before, you need to paste your final JPEG here and also your Illustrator work in progress. So like this. So this is just an example. Please remove this when you are pasting your one. So this is the final work. This is the work in progress picture. So you need to do the same thing here as well. All right. Any questions? No? Okay, so I will upload this within a few days to LMS. You can have a look at it again. And please work in on your assignment now. I think the semester is coming to an end. We need to complete the rest of it as well. Okay, so if you miss anything, I have uploaded everything to Moodle or LMS rather. Please come and check out the video. It explains everything as to how to do these activities. Okay, have a pleasant evening, everybody.
Thank you, sir.